You are listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast series. My name's Andrew Mackay-Smith, and the interview subject featured on this edition of the podcast series is Wednesday 13. The reason for the conversation is to talk up his brand new album for 2017. It's called Condolences, and we also touch on the just completed acoustic tour of Australia as well. So here he is, Wednesday 13. Wednesday 13, welcome to the Scars and Guitars podcast. How was your recent tour of Australia?
It was great, and it was way too quick. But it's always an amazing time in Australia. I'm always fortunate to be able to come there and play shows. And this is such a unique show we did there last time. It was our Undead Unplugged show. It was like it was us doing like a 2.5 hour set, just kind of covering my whole career and telling stories. So it was cool to bring that show there, because normally it's just our full band live shows. So it was cool to do something different. But yeah, it was great. I was really fortunate to be able to come out there and do that, and hopefully we'll get back to Australia again sooner than later with this new record with the full band tour.
Excellent. Yeah, there's a lot of material that you've recorded over the years, because it's very rare to find a year between 1994 and 2017 where you haven't produced some significant content. So I'd like to ask you how you maintain such a busy schedule and maintain the wonderful creativity that you've got.
I don't know. I don't even know how. When you just put that for fair, I was like, whoa, it really has been like that. It was a long time. I don't know, man. That's just it's my life. It's all I think about. It's I've been obsessed with it since I learned how to play guitar and realize I could be in a band and do something and be on stage and entertain people or shock people, or it's just been this it's in my blood. And I just, every time I do something, I try to outdo myself with the next thing. So it's just I'm never satisfied. I'm always trying to outdo myself. So I think it's just constantly just doing that, and and it keeps me busy. I get bored quick. So if I get bored, I write music and go on tour, and so luckily I've been able to do that for all these years.
Yeah, boredom is a good motivator. You're right there, but you've also got to have the talent, and you've certainly got the talent in spades. So, congratulations on the span and length and width of your career. I'd imagine that you get asked the next question quite a bit. So, Joey returning to the Murderdolls, Slipknot being a very popular band, I assume there's a lot of crossover from the fans. So, as I say, I think I've read your response to this question in the past a fair bit, but is it likely that Joey will return to the Murderdolls anytime in the near future?
I think so, and I hope so. I know that he's definitely talked about it in some interviews recently, and I know he's definitely been talking about it, through some mutual friends and stuff. So I think it's literally just a matter of time of just us figuring out the time to do it. I know he's busy with his new band, and I have my new record coming out in just a couple weeks, and a full year, and already in the next year I got tour plans figured out. So but it's something that I would love to revisit, and I don't see why there's any reason why we couldn't do it. I don't think it would be a full-time thing. I don't think I'd want it to be a full-time thing, but it would be fun to go and revisit it, and I use this as an example. I just use it as the Misfits doing their reunion shows they did, last year or whatever. That was, not comparing us to the Misfits, but it was just cool how, they had all that time off, and then they went and did some shows, and all these bands just came out in thousands to see them, and then Danzig, now he's doing it in his own record, so he could just do it whenever he wants, when it's fun. And that's what I would like it to be. We could do it whenever we want. It wouldn't be a full-time thing, but there's no reason why we couldn't go out for a month and do some shows here or there, and then we go back to our bands and do our thing, and then we can go back out and do another month of shows. It could just be another project that we do just for fun. And that was the whole reason Murderdolls was created, was for fun. So if we're going to do it again, let's do it for fun.
Yeah, no, good response. Thanks for that, mate. And just about you again, I understand that you adopted part of your look from the evil Cobra in the G.I. Joe series of toys and animated features and comics. Have you watched the recent film series?
Yeah. The movies, or is there a new cartoon?
Oh, the like the feature length films, if you like, with for lack of a better description, real people.
Yeah. I was disappointed in them.
Yeah, likewise.
I mean,
yeah.
some of the characters were, yeah, I grew up on the 80s G.I. Joe stuff, and that was my life. And, some of the characters were cool. I thought Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow was cool.
Yeah.
But just some of the characters were just not what it was. And it could have been, I would love to see them redo it because it is such a cool thing. And yeah, G.I. Joe and Cobra's a big influence on my look and everything. Like I just had a new jacket made to almost be like what I call it's my Destro jacket. So,
Destro,
yeah, I'm
yes.
always making my so that's my new jacket. So you'll see when our condolences video comes out in a few weeks, you'll see my debut of my Destro jacket.
I often wonder in Hollywood. I understand you're very knowledgeable about G.I. Joe. That's all, and you understand, I think, what fans like about that particular series. Why the studios don't come to people like you and ask for some advice? Have you ever been approached?
Oh, about G.I. Joes?
About G.I. Joes, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, people all the time, like, they find out that I know about this kind of stuff, and they'll sit down and, like, I'll meet fans and stuff after shows, and we'll sit for, it'll turn into what feels like an hour or something just talking about old cartoons and things. I actually had a friend bring me an entire, like, box of G.I. Joes on our last tour, and we sat there for, like, 2 hours and basically played a guessing game, because I hadn't seen these figures in forever, so he would just kind of pull them out one at a time, and I had to name them. If I could name them, I got them for free.
Sweet.
So we did that for about 2.5 hours on our last tour. It was my favorite game ever. I got every single one of them.
I've got a friend in Sydney, actually, who's got I think I'm correct in saying this is either a full wall or an entire cupboard that's just full of the toys, but in the packet still. He's bought the toys in the packets through the years and just kept them, and he collects them on eBay and all of that sort of stuff. So there's people around, mate. Yeah.
That's great. Oh, yeah, I collect tons of toys, and I have probably 130 G.I. Joes of the small ones right now, but this tour's about to start, and I've kind of put the bounty out, so hopefully fans will be bringing me toys, and I do exchanges for toys for T-shirts and concert tickets. So bring on all the old toys.
Cool. Do you remember the boat, the aircraft carrier USS Flag?
Yes, I remember it very well. I never got the USS aircraft carrier because at the time my parents and we lived in a little tiny single wide trailer, and it was bigger than my bedroom. so it wouldn't even fit. It was actually longer than my bedroom. So my dad did the measurements on it. I was like, just put it outside. And so, but no, I never got it. So maybe one day when I get my get my house or whatever, and I settle down somewhere, I'll make me a G.I. Joe mansion, and I'll get that aircraft carrier eventually.
Yeah, cool. Just make sure you put the pictures up on Instagram for all the fans. They'd love that.
Oh, for sure.
So you have a new-ish label in Nuclear Blast. How has working with this label been different from previous labels?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, a lot of things have changed over the years since I've been on the label, and I'm pretty much handling everything hands-on with the label because we don't have a manager at the moment. I manage the band, and so I've been dealing with all the business stuff of everything, and it's been and it's from my point of view, it's been amazing. This label has been they've been promoting this record better than I feel like any release I've ever had out on any other label. I feel like they're promoting it better than anything. I mean, we just filmed our 4th video last weekend, so it's like I've never done that before, and
excellent.
It's just great to have a team. It's great to have a team behind us, and I know a lot of the people from the label, and they've just it's great. It's just I've been doing this DIY for so many years, and to now have a team behind us, it just feels like we just have this army. So it feels really good, and I know we made a really good record, and I can't wait to get out and play it, and hopefully everything works out with Nuclear Blast, and this could be our home with them and just keep doing our records with them from this point on. I'd be totally happy with that.
Cool. So, a question about your career again. When you look back over, I think you've been a recording artist for about 25 years now. Am I correct in saying that?
That's about right, yeah.
Yeah. What are you most proud of?
I think, the fact that I've consistently put out music. I've always put it out, and no matter what anyone ever said about it or talked bad about it, it never, ever swayed me any other way. People say, oh, you can't do that, you can't record like that, or you shouldn't do that, or that band's stupid, that album cover's dumb. I just always went with my gut and what I believed in, and I'm looking back on after all these years, and I go, wow, if anyone ever could use the term sellout to me, it's just I would instantly punch them in the face, because it's like I've never sold out. I mean,
no.
I could have started writing radio songs years ago, but here I am still writing songs that will never get on the radio. It's just I just do what I do, and I love what I do, and so I'm just proud that I stuck to my guns and I didn't follow trends.
Yeah, no, good on you, and congratulations for that. You are synonymous with you are an artist, I should say, that is synonymous with standing within your own truth, and you can certainly see your evolution over the years, but at the same time, you can see that there's a very firm narrative as well. All of your projects are linked.
Yeah, I think so too. Thank you, man. Yeah, it is. It's just I look back on my records are almost like I don't take journals. I don't do diaries. My records are my journals. I look back on them, and I can look on any of my record, and I can look at it, and I can remember what was going on in my life around that time. So they're almost like little. That's my journals. That's my yearbooks.
Yeah, cool. All right. We've come to the segment now where I do a lot of interviews with artists and musicians, and I do have 3 questions that I like to ask all of my interview subjects. So, Wednesday 13, I would love for you to humour me here and play along, and your answers can be as not safe for work as you like. We are an R-rated program. So, here goes.
Great.
Choose 3 words to describe yourself.
Stink, stank, stunk.
Okay.
I think that was in a Dr. Seuss book one time, and I was like, that's me. That's my definition right there.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. Second question. If you could go back to when you were 18 and give yourself some advice, what would you say?
Oh, man. I don't know. I feel like it's those things like Back to the Future. If I tell myself, if I rearrange the past, it fucks up where everything is right now. So, I don't know. I think I would have told myself back then to maybe stand up for myself a little more and not be so shy. I was really shy for a long time, and it took me a long time to get my stage confidence, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yep.
So I think it just So for me, I would just say I'd get back and slap myself in the face and go, "Hey, get with it, kid. You got this."
Yeah, no, that's a great response, actually. Yeah. All right, final question. What 5 guests, living or dead, would you invite to a dinner?
Edward D. Wood Jr. would be my first guess. I would He's got amazing stories.
Yep.
I would say Elvis Presley.
Mm-hmm.
That would just be amazing. And round it out for 5. A good dinner guest I'd like to talk to. I'm actually really fascinated with the front man of the band Killing Joke, the guy Jazz Coleman.
Yeah, Jazz Coleman. He lives in New Zealand nearby here, actually. Yeah.
Oh, great! Yeah, man, Killing Joke's one of my favorite bands, and I just think that guy's fascinating and interesting. His lyrics and things, it just opened up an entire new world for me when I discovered them. I just discovered Killing Joke like 7-8 years ago for the first time and started listening to them. So, and they're like my new favorite band, and or new to me. So that would be another guest I would love to sit down and speak with.
Yeah, no, great list. And Pandemonium by Killing Joke. Have you gotten to that record yet?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I have everything now. That is one of the best records ever. It's I listen to it all the time.
Yeah, it's probably my top 10 records of all time, actually, Pandemonium. I love that album.
It's great. It was so ahead of its time. They created that sound. People don't even realize that they were doing it before anybody. It's like 1990.
Yeah, and Fear Factory and the like would go on to adopt elements of that. You're right, and it was incredible when I first heard that. It just ripped my head off.
Oh yeah, and it still sounds relevant today. It's still a great band.
Yeah, phenomenal. Mate, well, unfortunately, I could keep talking for quite a long time to you, to be honest. I've got a bunch of other questions I'd love to ask, but we're out of time. So I really want to thank you for your time today and wish you all the best, and congratulations on a wonderful career again, and hopefully we see you back down here in Australia soon.
Cool. Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
No worries, mate. Cheers. Catch you.
You have been listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast series. My name is Andrew Mackay-Smith, and that interview subject was Wednesday 13. Thank you so much for listening.